Hello, everyone. Uh, Good day. First off, I would like to apologize for not being there in person. I actually planned to do so, but as God will have it, I couldn't make it there. I know how boring a virtual session could be, but I promise you, I'll keep it very short, very interesting. Just lend me some of your minutes, and I believe at the end of this presentation, you will have you will definitely gain one or two things at the end of the presentation. I promise you, it is going to be a time worth it. Uh, who am I? I'm Rashid Mdasiru, and I'm a Google Cloud Innovator. What we do as a Google Cloud Innovator is advocate about Google Cloud services, and as well, most of my time recently, I jumped into being a DevOps engineer, like do DevOps things. Some people may be like, is there anything like DevOps engineering? Are you not supposed to be an SRE engineer, a site reliability engineer? Yeah, that's a debate, but I'm not available for that particular debate right now. I'm also a GitHub campus expert. Seeing that you sense a bit of studentship in me, yeah, I'm a student. I'm a computer science student at Federal University of Technology, Mina. And most of my free time, I use it in community, developing community, supporting community members, raising student community. We are not here to talk about what I do as a person. And outside that, I do find myself in engineering, most time doing front end things. And yeah, that's a bit about myself. You can catch me up on Twitter at Ibn Mudafil. That's my check it out. Tweet about this session. If you learn one or two things along the way or at the end of the presentation, tweet about it. Tag me, send me them on Twitter. I will be glad to reply on. Today we'll be talking about monitoring and observability, a tool in GCP for DevOps. We'll be like, what's monitoring? What is observability? What is DevOps? Okay, so those are the key things that we'll be talking about and how it can help our organization to thrive and do better things together. Um, in this presentation, when you hear me saying system, also saying application, or you can hear me saying software. I mean the same thing according to this presentation. They might not be the same exact. They may not be exact the same outside there, but according to to this presentation, when you hear me saying system, or you are hearing me, or at any point in time I'm saying application, or at any other point I'm saying software, so I'm still referring to one same thing. Yeah. Oh, what's DevOps? In the past, organization um have several departments as it is today. But what is different between departments in the organization in the past and the departments in organization today? Most especially the organization that um, developing software for users to use. So in the past, every organization have a development team and operations team, which is also so today, which we still also having in some company or in some organizations today. And the development teams work in the silos, which means they work on their own in their department. They don't know what's going on in other departments. All what they do is ship out the code. You know, the development team are the team of programmers that develop the application the organization is running on or the organization is giving out to their customer to use. And on the other side, we have the operations team. The operations team are the set of are the department that see to the reliability of the software or the system or the application built by the development teams. Seeing this, we see a kind of correlation between these two because it is what the developers develop that the operation team will manage and ensure its reliability. So they all work in silo. Every one of them work on their department without accurate collaboration between them. So without the help of DevOps, it is difficult for us to track and to know where the problem is coming from to ensure accountability and collaboration. So that's why the concept of DevOps comes into play. So DevOps can be defined, or we can refer to DevOps as a series of principles. Some set of people say most larger set of people. Let me put it that way many people they agree that it's a philosophy that ensures increase in collaboration, or that ensure the increase in collaboration and efficiency between developer and the operations team. So what does this mean? It's basically the concept of DevOps, the principle of DevOps, the objective of DevOps, that every organization to ensure collaboration between their development teams, which are the developers, and the operations team, which are the security guys, the QA guys, those guys that do the testing at the end of the day. So the principle that bring them together, that increase the collaboration between these teams, is what we refer to as DevOps. And according to Google, we have five main objectives of DevOps. The first of them is reduce silos. It ensure it's remove the barrier between the development teams and operations team, which happens to be in the past. With the help of DevOps concept, or the philosophy of DevOps, it helps us remove that barrier from there and increase collaboration between them. The second objective of DevOps is accept failure as normal. We know that computer that we are using at any point can fail us. There could be any issue that we are not preparing for at the point in time. So DevOps comes to tell us that failure is normal and we should accept failure as normal. Another thing that DevOps comes to tell us is implement gradual changes. When you're developing any software, giving it to your customer in a gradual process, not giving the whole system out at a time, is one of the key things that DevOps comes to advocate for. When there is issue, it is really easy for you to roll back a very gradual change that you make, rather than rolling back the whole system and trying to look for where the bug lives. Another thing is leveraging tooling and automation. DevOps comes to tell us that activities that, or the actions or the tasks that can be automated should be automated. We should try to leverage on automation while we are building our system and our software. And lastly, which is one of the key things that this today presentation will be focusing on, is measure everything. We have to measure everything. Be it the performance of your system, the health of your system, how your system is doing. You need to measure them. Imagine you log onto a website and what you see are these error 503, this service unavailable, and every kind of error you can think of. Imagine seeing this as a customer and the development teams are not seeing this. The operations team are not seeing this. So this is number one reason this presentation is essential. We want to let our operations team of an organization, or the development teams of an organization, know this even before the customer gets to see this on their screen. We want to set up things that will notify the operations team and notify the development teams where issue like this comes up. According to a right scale survey, they carry out a research and they come up that, okay, if an organization fail to set up the right observability and monitoring tools, they get to incur extra costs along the way while they are using cloud services for their software. If you have not been listening up to this moment, it is very key. There are three things I want to tell us right now that we need to take note of, and we have to go out of this place with it. And number one of them is you cannot correct what you cannot measure. Measurement is crucial. That's why you need to observe what is happening to your system. You must keep track, keep monitoring what is happening to your system. So if you want to be able to correct issues in your system, your application, you should be able to measure it. So for you to be able to measure it, for you to be able to correct issues that comes up in your system, you should be able to measure it. And another thing is direct observation of failure leads to quick rectification. And seeing that, we know that, okay, this is actually talking about observability. If you are able to observe your system anytime it fails, it will really really help you to come up with solutions to the problem that comes to your system. And last one is from the Dora team. The Dora team are the DevOps research team, which they claim they do interview more than 33,000 organizations to ask them how DevOps is helping them to thrive and how DevOps is helping the organization to grow very well, and all of things that comes under DevOps. So they said if your organization wants to have a good performing teams, what they need to do is to set up a good monitoring system. So good monitoring is a staple of high performing team. That is being said by the Dora team. So GCP monitoring and observability tools. Google Cloud has what we call Google Cloud Operations Suite. In Google Cloud Operations Suite, the group the operations suite into two category: the operation focus suite and the application performance management tools. So what does this mean? It's basically the tools that are mainly focused on how your application is performing, that keep track of how your application is doing, that you can use to create charts on how well your system is doing, tools that you can use to log event of your system, how they are performing. They are all under operation focused tools. And example of that are cloud monitoring, the cloud logging, error reporting, and the service monitoring. We're going to talk about a bit about all of this as we progress. The second category is application performance management tools. These tools are the one that you use in troubleshooting, in correcting anything that happened to your system while in production on cloud on Google Cloud. And the services given to you by Google Cloud's platform are Cloud Debugger, the Cloud Trace, and Cloud Profiler. So what's a cloud monitoring? A cloud monitoring is a tool in GCP that help you to check the health of your system, and check the uptime performance of your system. And as well, you can use these particular tools to configure alarms, to generate alerts for your system, to create dashboard to track or how well or how bad your system is, or your application or the software you are giving to your system or to your customer are doing. The second thing is cloud logging. The cloud logging, anything you deploy or any service that is running, at a point in time, it will emit a kind of event of how the system is doing. Cloud logging will help in monitoring the files in which your application is emitting that particular event to, and what is the purpose, or what can these files do for us. We call it log file. The log file are those files that keep track of how your system is working, and at a point, you can see if there is any problem with your system or with your application. You can go to the log file and see that, okay, at this point, this is where the application stopped working. This is the root of the problem. So cloud logging helps you to create a log file and emit the event that is coming from your application to that particular log file, such that if there's any issue in your application, you can quickly go to that log file and be able to track the root of that problem at the end of the day. So the third one that we are talking about today, because of our time, because I can see I can guess some people who might have been sleeping and be like, let this guy stop talking. Okay, so I'll stop talking a bit. So the third one is Cloud Debugger. Cloud Debugger helps monitor application performance. And the main purpose of Cloud Debugger, the main focus of Cloud Debugger is to um, um, go through, give us access to debug our system while in production. And it helps us to do this we don't need to stop the application that we are running. The application will keep running and we can go through the code, and it give the source it give us ability to check our source code while the application is running, and the customer will not even know what is happening. And with this, we'll be able to know how our application is doing in production, how the error that we cannot cache while in development, we'll be able to catch them during the production. So Cloud Debugger give us the ability to debug our system while running, and we don't need to stop it or even slow it down before we can uh, do the debugging as the app in production. The last one that we are going to be talking about today is Cloud Trace. Cloud Trace is another Google Cloud solution for monitoring application performance. And in the advent of microservices, containers, and all that, we have to divide our application into chunks or different components. For that reason, if there's any issue at any point in time, it is very difficult for us to know from which component the issue is coming from. But with the help of Cloud Trace will help us locate where the issue is. It will help us debug it and fix the issue. And after fixing the issue, the Cloud Trace will also help us optimize our code. And at the end of the day, solve the issue that comes up in our system, and our system will keep on running at the end of the day. I'll leave us with this words that measure everything. When we say we should measure everything, what we are telling you is you should measure everything, uh, including keeping track of everything related to toy, reliability, the health of your system is what we are telling you. And for you to be able to achieve this, you need to keep track. And for you to be able to do this, you need to monitor your system, observe your system while working and while in production. Um, I am Rashid, as you all know. Catch me up on Twitter once again. I mentioned it in the beginning of my presentation. And one fun fact about me is I've never posted a WhatsApp sticker, and I've never watched an anime. So if you have any question, tweet about it. Send me a DM on Twitter. I will be glad to respond to your query, to anything you have to talk about as regards what we talked about today. For any if you need more resources or you are interested in what we talked about, you can check out these links. I will be sharing it with the organizers, and they will definitely get it across to you. At this point, I would like to appreciate our organizer for bringing us together today. And for giving us the opportunity to, me particularly, giving me the opportunity to talk to the community. And I believe we've learned one or two things along the way as we talk to ourselves today. Oh, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you some other time. Bye, everyone.